I'm Antoinette Harris in Colorado Springs, United States of America, and these are my COVID-19 diaries. The date is April the 5th, 2020, and I am on a forced lockdown, which means I can only leave my house for essential needs, such as food, medical attention. If I have a job that's considered essential, any of those things I can leave the house for. But I can't leave the house to go to the library. I can't leave the house to go gather with my friends. I can't leave the house to go have a picnic. It seems like most of our freedoms, I know for me here in Colorado Springs, I don't know about everyone in the world, but most of my friends, I have friends in New York, and I have friends in Atlanta, and I have friends in California, both Northern and Southern California, and all my friends tell me that they are also on lockdown. The lockdown goes so far as to, in Atlanta, they are on lockdown from, they have a curfew, which is from 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. So we don't actually have a curfew here in Colorado Springs, and I hope we don't get a curfew, but some people do have a curfew. So people's human rights are being suspended or being put aside or being, we just don't have them right now. We don't have our God-given right to speech because YouTube and Facebook and all these things keep censoring us by taking what we say off the web. And if we have a freedom of speech, that means we get to share our speech, and you don't get to like silence us. But we are being silenced because lots of people have videos that go up on YouTube or post on Instagram or Facebook or any of these social sites, and they just come down deleted. And then when you look at why these administrators deleted you, it says that you go against the community rules. What are your community rules, though? Are your community rules for us, the people, or are your community rules, for some CEO somewhere? So I'm not very happy with what's going on, and I really wish that things would just go back kind of to the way they were. And I know things weren't perfect, but it wasn't like this. And when I see videos and I see that trucks and trains are rolling out with huge, large, mass amounts of military equipment like tanks, to cities, to cities, to American cities, they're rolling these train loads full of military equipment, and they're driving them into places like New York and places like Seattle and places like Atlanta and LA and San Diego, and all these places are subject to these, this military presence. But why do we need a military presence? I don't necessarily want a military presence. I would rather work out my disagreements with my neighbors on a face-to-face individual basis. I don't necessarily need help to be friends with my neighbors and community. So back to the COVID diaries. Here I am in America. It is April the 5th. It's 2020. And I don't know anybody who's sick personally. And everybody that I personally know doesn't know anyone who's actually sick personally. And I keep hearing, everybody's seen it. We've all heard it. We've all heard about the tens and thousands of people, but I have not seen or witnessed any of this. To the best of my knowledge, no one is sick. And that makes me wonder why they're telling us this, and what's the agenda? Like, why tell us this? Like, why do you tell us this now? Like, what about later? I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here in the near future. I know that 5G is very dangerous to our nervous systems as human beings. Just like microwaves, if you put a bug in there, they will fry. And if you put a human being within range of a microwave beam, we also will fry. And I know that many medical doctors have banded together trying to stop 5G from rolling out because of the danger it has to human beings. And I also know that if you get radiation poisoning from 5G, the symptoms are flu-like symptoms, very much like what coronavirus would give you. So it just makes me wonder. That's my COVID diaries. Everybody stay safe.